So what you do is you open up the package that it comes in. You take take your camera to the QR code to get to the information screen that tells you how to install this. Basically tells you to come up to your thing, you turn the thing off, turn it back on after you plug the thing in, turn the thing back on, and it sits here for a while, updating all this stuff. And it's a whole lot of information, so I'm not gonna record all of that. I wanted to, but this is just too much stuff for me. Okay, and here we are. It's all done rebooting. It's got I don't know why what that is there. I don't know what that thing said. Why it says why there's a little strike through my Y. Must be can't think of the word. A stain of some sort on my thing here. I'll need to clean that off later. But if you go back to the beginning of this video, you'll see that the start screen looks a lot different. Now it says, in addition to customize, it also now says candy in particular. And it wants me to do the Wi-Fi setup to connect to my Wi-Fi and whatnot ever. My original thoughts were, why would anybody want this silly thing? It is just there's just a few little items on it that you can get with it that makes it a little bit easier to control your harvest rate from a distance. What I've noticed by watching other people using this thing now, I've realized that, well, yeah, while I'm running my harvest rate when I'm doing a run, freeze drying some stuff in there, I'm usually in a different room because it's not healthy to be living in the room that you've got your harvest rate in if it's running. So I tend to sit in a different room, and then I'll be like, okay, well, how far along is it? Has it gotten into my extra freeze dry time? As I mentioned before, I've got 10 hours. I usually have 10 hours on this thing. I think I said that. It doesn't take 10 extra hours for this stuff to freeze dry. Normally, by the time it goes into your extra freeze dry time, it's already determined that the freeze drying is done, and it's just giving it an extra hour or two to make sure. What I've noticed though then is that it doesn't always finish, but for me it's mostly that when it finishes, it's in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping, or I'm out at the store or someplace else, and when it finishes the cycle, it turns, the sublimation process ends, but the freezing portion of the machine continues to go. So while it's freezing, it's from the sides, there'll be ice in there, and that'll start to kind of get melted back in and go back into your product, freezing the product again, and then it's not completely freeze dried anymore. So you do need to watch it, and it would make more sense if I could watch it from a different room. If I come across and it's like, oh hey, I've got 2 hours of my 10 hours left, I can come in here, check it, pull the product out, weigh it, and then put it back in for another couple hours just to make sure that it is actually freeze dried, because the machine doesn't know when your product is dry. It only knows that it's not pulling any moisture out over a period of time, and so it assumes that it's dry. But it can take another couple hours beyond that to get dry. John and Bibbs tends to take all of his stuff for 40 plus hours for every single batch, because he doesn't want to do the weighing and such. and that's fine. If you want to go for the long periods of time, you can do that. But so yeah, having this dongle on there, green means it's functioning apparently. All right, here's a update on my previous. I don't know if I'm going to have it in there or not, but I previously said, there's no reason that anyone would want this Wi-Fi dongle really, because you can do all the stuff right when you're here, and a lot of the stuff you need to be physically in front of the freeze dryer to do, like load it up, unload it. When the batch is done, there is a natural tendency for the freezer to the freezer stays on, but the sublimation process turns off, and during that time, your food can become, well, for lack of a better term, corrupted, and you might need to then do the freeze drying process, not all over again, but you might need to extend it some. And so I haven't done that, but well, I have actually. I went ahead and bought the Wi-Fi dongle because there was some things I noticed on it that I was curious about, and that was that I sit in a room. Well, this is the room that my freeze dryer is in, and I'm in the room next door. And I have the door closed or partially closed because I have a curious little animal that likes to walk in and shed all over the place. The animal used to sleep with me, and one day I decided, well, I might be allergic to the animal now. So I took the animal outside and I closed the bedroom off, and I started looking around my bed, and I realized there was hair everywhere. Well, so this room, I've never let that animal in since I moved in to this place. That it's walked in for a second or two, and I've shooed it out. But an animal. I keep saying animal. It's a cat. Okay, it's a cat, a big black cat, and I can't. I want this room to be fairly clean at all times, or most of the time, except for the freeze drying process now. But so here I am, and I thought, well, in order to check up on the freeze dryer, I have to walk in from the room next door, come in here, open the door. I have a gate in front of the door because this room gets hot, like really hot. And especially during the summer, and so I keep a door open and a gate up so the cat can't get in, but I have to remove that gate, open the door, and walk in to look at that freeze dryer to see if it's almost done. The dongle says I don't have to do that because now with my Harvest Right app, I can check up on this thing while it's in its process from a distance. I can even be someplace else and pull up the. This is hooked up to my Wi-Fi in my place, but I don't need Wi-Fi someplace else in order to pull this thing up, and I can open up the app and see, hey, how much time do I have left? Do I have time to finish my shopping or whatever I'm doing and make it home in time before the thing turns off? Pull out the app, see if I have enough time, and if I do, great. If I don't, I can always increase the time in the app. And I thought that was a good thing. Kind of makes for people that are lackadaisical to forget and just let things go and add time and add more time. Well, so let's see, the Harvest Right freeze dryer needs to be a version 5.4 or newer, in order to work. Mine was a 5.5. If you if I have this video attached to my deep dive, you can see the old screen shows that it was a 5.5, and now it's a 6 with this dongle. So I opened up the dongle, pulled the dongle out, and lo and behold, what was inside? Well, there was a USB cord here and the dongle here, and that was it. I was like, okay, how do I put it together? Well, you have to take your phone to this QR code to get the instructions. Oh, brother. So that was fine. I was able to do that. I finally figured out. It's been years for me to figure out how to get your phone to accept the QR code, and it works. I was able to get to the website, and I started the process. I was thinking, okay, this should be fairly easy. I was thinking, okay, this should be fairly easy. Wrong. It's really, really hard. The easiest part is getting the dongle attached. You plug this thing in here. Your freeze dryer is off. You turn the freeze dryer. Well, you plug this thing together. You turn the freeze dryer on, and the whole thing updates to what is now a version 6. Doesn't even show the version on here because I just started a batch here 9 minutes ago. But this is a whole new thing. Now on the bottom left it'll say candy mode and custom in the middle and start over here. But here's my little Wi-Fi thing that tells me yes, I'm connected. Connecting was a pain in the you know what. For connecting, I needed to I went through the process that it told me, and it says okay, hook up your thing to your Wi-Fi. Well, first of all, I have a new router, a new modem, and they accept the high-speed internets and whatever. The 6 gigahertz connections that your phones will accept or whatever, but this thing works on 2.4 gigahertz, and I had to figure out how to log into my information through my Wi-Fi, through my internet carrier, to change my modem to a 2.4 gigahertz. And that took a day because I didn't know how to do it. I was just searching blindly. I was just walking along. Where am I? I can't figure it out. And then but before I did that, it says okay. Click that little Wi-Fi button that was there, and it'll click on the thing that says here's your harvest right, and you do that, and then it says okay, here's your list of all the Wi-Fi things in the neighborhood, and sure enough, it found everybody in my neighborhood. It found things that my phone can't even find. It was just amazing, really. But the most amazing thing, it could not find mine. It could not find mine. And that's, again, because I was on a 6 gigahertz, or 6 gigahertz, and it can only handle a 2.4. So I figured out how to change it to 2.4, and finally my Wi-Fi shows up in the list, and it connects. And then the next thing it asks for is it says, okay, now look at the back of your freeze dryer, and see now my freeze dryer is up against the wall, and I have to look at the back and find the serial number and put that in. But then it also says, okay, now when did you buy it? Well, I bought this a year and a half ago, and this is a small. It's a small Pro. They issued these in August of 2003. Going forward, I don't know what they're at now. They're, for all I know, they're probably at version 7 or something now, or whatever. Who knows? But for all I know, the dongle is probably integrated into the freeze dryer, which would be great. But so I had to move the thing, and thankfully I have this thing on wheels. And this thing is on wheels, and I was able to pull this table out to look at the back of my freeze dryer to find this information. And it requires the entire serial number, all the little numbers and the letters and all that kind of fun stuff. But then I actually had to go back through my credit card back a year and a half to find out when I purchased it. It's looking for the exact date that you bought it. And then the third thing, where did you buy it from? Well, I said, well, I bought it from Harvest Right. So I typed in Harvest Right. It did not accept that. And I had to type all this stuff in again. Thankfully, I had taken a picture of that serial number, so I had that. I knew, having looked it up through my bank accounts, I know exactly when I purchased the thing. And also, but where did I buy it? It's like, well, I bought it from Harvest Right, so what do I do? Well, it dawned on me, how about just typing in harvestright.com. And it took it. Now it's working. Now it's all set up and I can do it all. Oh my gosh, this took me a day and a half to figure all this stuff out. So hopefully if you're thinking about getting one of these dongles and you've watched this thing first, you know what to expect, and you know, like, to get that information out from behind your freeze dryer ahead of time. Thankfully, like I said, I bought a nice little small thing. It's less than 100 pounds. If you have a medium or a large or an extra large, those things are going to be heavy to move, and you have to look at the back for the serial number. And I'm like, good luck to you guys. I got this small because it's less than 100 pounds, and I can, with this table on wheels, which I'm thankful for, and I've somewhere along the way I have a review on this thing. I didn't build it, but I've still got the box that came in. Thankfully, I have this thing on wheels, and I was able to pull it out. Otherwise, I would have been stuck. I would have no way to move that freeze dryer to find the back. I mean, I could, but I might have, for all I know, it might have tipped over and fallen on top of me, or who knows what. Get this information first before you open up that dongle and start putting it in. Is what I suggest. But in order to use the app, you need to register it. So you're like, oh, I'll just bypass that information. No, in order to use the app, you need to register it, and you need to have this information. I don't know if it would have not accepted, like, oh, you didn't buy it on this date, you were not going to accept that. I don't know. It maybe would have. I didn't take that chance. I said, okay, well, I looked up my credit card and said, okay, here's the date that the charge went through. I may have ordered it like a day or two ahead of time, but it did accept that date that it went through. If you're wondering why I have snack packs over here, this has something to do with my current run, which I will cover in another video. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I did get the dongle, And I don't need this, hopefully, anymore. Into the trash it goes. And I suppose I could get that this little thing out and hang on to, well, not hang on to this, but throw this into a recycling bin. Or maybe I need this thing for something. Who knows? Yeah, it comes preloaded with the ability to update your freeze dryer. Yes, and it's on patented software version 6.0. So naturally, this doesn't work with anything other than a Harvest Right Pro freeze dryer. Well, that's not entirely true. The person that I watched do this, she is Freeze Dry Society. I think I've got it in my my list of people that I pay attention to. I've watched her do this, and I've watched. She's like, oh look, I can. Well, sorry, Brooke. I'm not trying to disparage you or anything, but oh look, I can turn this on from my kitchen. But so what? It's like you still have to bring the food to the machine. It just saves you the time and effort to go to the machine, turn the thing on, and then wait the 15 minutes. Great. That is a plus. I waited the 15 minutes in a different room. I came in with my frozen stuff. I went to the kitchen. I opened up my freezer. I grabbed my product and I brought it into the freeze dryer after my 15 minutes, and here I am. 16 minutes into the video, or 19 minutes into the process of the freeze drying process. I wanted to show all this stuff to you on the phone, but this is the phone that I have all of this information on, so I needed the phone in order to hook it up and do all this fun stuff. So, but there you have it. This should wrap up my freeze drying deep dive. Thank you for if you watched the whole thing, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you didn't like it, tell me why in the comments. If you did, please tell me in the comments. Don't I'll never ask for money. I don't do that. I'm just doing a YouTube channel for posterity. I may not be a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even a thousandaire, but I do have money coming in that I'm able to live off of and buy stuff. Look at this. I still have stuff over here that I haven't unpacked. I've had this stuff for months and months on end, and I still haven't gotten around to it. I'll have videos on this eventually. But thank you for watching. If hopefully you watched all the way through. If not, hopefully you turned on the video and left the video on and went to the bathroom or went to out to eat or something and just left the thing running, so that that'll be the best way to help me out is to give me the viewing time. I know quite often I'll open up a YouTube video, I'll watch for a minute or two, and away I go. But then those people have millions of people already watching. They don't need my extra 30 minutes of watching, or 10 minutes, or whatever the heck it is. But I've got, like I said, I've got a list up above. If you're, well, not, you won't see the list if you're watching this on a TV, but if you're on an iPhone or an iPad or something, look above where the comments are. There's a list of all the websites that I attach myself to and that I watch on a regular basis. and those are the people who influence me. I don't get anything from telling you about them. They get if you go to their Amazon stores, or their if you buy a Harvest Right through, let's say, through Freeze Dry Society. One, keep that in mind, because you'll probably need that to register this dongle, where you got it from. But she gets a I don't know what kind of monetary thing she gets from them if you buy through her. I don't get anything. I don't want anything. If you want to support me, like I said, watch. Let the video run the whole way through, and let me enjoy the viewership. Or thank you for having watched. This is probably my longest video. I'm sure it's going to be an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours long when I've compiled it all. But it is a deep dive on freeze dryers. This was a Harvest Right in particular, but this can go a long way even on any other freeze dryer that know what you're getting into. I didn't know what I was getting into. I had an idea, but I didn't really know what I was getting into. I don't run this freeze dryer half the time. This thing has been sitting with nothing to do for a month or two now. This is the first day in, like I said, just a month or two that I've even started the thing. But I have like 30 videos made, and so I'll be uploading them eventually on my website, or through YouTube, and watch them all. Subscribe. Do the fun things that people do with these things. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.